Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's a weird view. That's better. So this video is going to be about Aoimoku. I've got a strange name for him. The blue-eyed raven. So you can get a good look here. So in this video I'll go through how I made him, and he is available in my shop at creaturesofnight.com if you're interested in that. So he's fully posable, the wings come out and are fully posable, so you can pose them any way you like and put them back as well. It's got a little tail, but yes, so that's him. Payment plans are welcome. If you would like to purchase him and would like to do a payment plan, they are welcome. Just shoot me a message on my channel. He's kind of pretty cool as a prop. I tried to get him out for Halloween as well, or the Halloween season, so yes, this guy. I did a white one a while ago, so I wanted to do a black one. So there it is. So if you want to know how I made him, I can't really quite see him. If you want to know how I made him, stay tuned and keep watching. Alrighty, so starting off with that resin cast that I've done, and I've cast some glass eyes into this head. So if you want to know how the whole process of casting the glass eyes, I have a tutorial available in my shop. It comes in a zip file with a video and a PDF tutorial, so if that's something you'd like to learn, head to my shop, link is in the description. And then once I've done processing the head, this is what I have. And then I'll end up priming it and painting it, so we can move on to the next step now. So I've primed it in a just a water-based acrylic primer that I get from a local store here called Melbourne Artist Supplies. It's just a canvas sort of primer that I use. It works really well for resin. I have a video on my channel that you can check out to see exactly what I'm talking about. And once it's dry, I go ahead and start painting all of the bits that need to be painted. So as this raven is going to be black, I am painting the head in a black color. And I usually paint the whole thing, just so when I'm applying the black fur, there's no see-through from the white resin. And the same deal with the feet. So I have cast these feet up in resin. So I originally sculpted this feet, and I only sculpted one because then I can produce the feet over and over with the same mold, because they don't have any particular direction that the feet go, so I only need to sculpt one. And then once I've sculpted it, I mold it in silicone and then cast in resin. And I have those tutorials available in my shop as well. So there's a mold making, just a simple mold making tutorial, and a simple casting tutorial as well, if that's something that you're interested to learn. I also have a Patreon where I post a whole lot of behind the scenes things and more tips and tricks and stuff like that. So once I have cleaned up all of the resin, again I use a primer, the same primer that I was talking about before, and then I end up painting it up using the same paint that I painted the head with. But this one, I wanted a grey sort of undertone, so I'm painting the whole thing in a neutral grey to begin with, and then once that's dry, I'll sort of do a dry brush technique over the foot itself in a black, so there's a little bit of that grey show through, because raven legs, if you look at them closely, they have like a little bit of grey to them, so I did this technique to begin with. Alright, so with all my dolls I have a little backstory, so I'll read the backstory of Aoimoku, the blue-eyed raven. Blue-eyed ravens are a little different from regular ravens. Some say they're more intelligent and wise than other ravens. Some even say they can do witchcraft and cast curses, but deep down, they really just like to steal things that are blue. Blue-eyed ravens are usually found in the Black Tribal Lands Orc and in the Darklands in Krai, India. So that's his little backstory, and you can find extra images and the story on my Patreon for all tiers as well. So you know, you can pledge the smallest one and get access to all of that. So now I'm applying the dry brush technique, and I made it more black than what I thought it would, but I kind of liked that it was more black because I think it matches the body a little bit more and makes it a little bit more ominous as well. But yeah, the same deal for the other foot as well, the other foot. The other foot as well, and then I'll leave it to dry properly overnight. And the paint that I use is just a water-based acrylic paint by the brand Chromacryl, but you can use any acrylic paint that you have around. It's nothing special. Moving on to the fur. So I'm using a longish pile faux fur, and it is black, and this is pretty much the last of the fur that I have, and it was a perfect fit for the Raven. So what I'm doing now is drawing out my patterns onto the back of the fur using some chalk, and I will have a pattern video on my Patreon in the future. I'm working on that and trying to figure out some points because I'm not like a whiz at pattern making, but I'll definitely do a tips video about the patterns that I make and how I make them anyway. So a little look at the fur. You can see it's kind of got like a feathery look to it. That's why I wanted to use this. It's got like a shine that feathers sort of have, and I didn't really want to do the whole body in feathers anyway, but I thought this fur worked really well. So I'm cutting out the patterns using a small pair of scissors, and I like using small scissors just because it's easier to control and just cut the backing and not the pile. So once I've done that, I can go ahead and pin it up and sew it up on the sewing machine, fur side together. And then once I've done that, I turn it the inside out. So I usually leave like the ends open around the back end and the feet particularly, or the legs, just because it makes it a little bit easier to feed it through bigger holes than little ones. So I always like to leave enough of an opening to make it a bit easier and not damage the fur. And I like to use a wooden tool for this just to help feed the fur back over on itself. Don't use a metal tool just because there's like a high risk that you can actually break the backing of the fur and rip it, and then you'll just have to sew it up again anyway. So always use something blunt, maybe plastic. I use like a timber tool that's like a round edge, and that works really well for me. So this is what we have once I've flipped it the right way around. You can see it's sort of taking shape as a raven now, and I added an extra part underneath the belly area just to give it a bit more volume because I wasn't really happy with the way I was doing it. So I tried an experiment with this one, which I'm pretty happy with. It's a little bit more work, but yeah, much happier with the way the body's turning out when I've added that little pattern on it. So once I've done that, I go ahead and make an armature. This has a wire armature. I also have an armature tutorial in my shop if you're interested in how I make them. But I use a 3mm galvanized aluminium wire. But yeah, once I've made that armature, I can put it inside the body and attach the head, and then start attaching all of the fur to the resin. So I use a tacky fabric glue. I find it works really well for faux fur and resin. It adheres pretty well. You've got to have a bit of muscle to actually pull it off the resin. And I get it here from a local store called Spotlight, but you can get it in most art and craft stores. It's not anything too fancy. It's just a fabric glue. This is like a mixed media fabric glue, so it works well for leathers and stuff. But yeah, like I said, it works really well for faux fur and resin. Alrighty, so I can start sewing up all of the loose ends. So I'm starting off with the feet, and luckily for the bird dolls, I don't have to actually hand sew too much because I hate hand sewing. More than machine sewing, I hate hand sewing. So I've just sewn up the leg areas, and then I'm going to be attaching the faux fur to the resin feet. And same deal as the head. Just load up the fabric with some glue, and then I slowly just work it onto the resin, making sure that I don't put too much and too little. There's a good fine line between the amount of glue that you put on. You don't want it to seep through the faux fur because it can damage the pile, and then you can sort of tell where the glue's been. So you'll get the hang of it once you've made a couple of dolls. You get the hang of how much you need on your fabric. So this is what we have once I've sewn it all up. So it looks a bit strange at the moment, but I'm going to give it a bit of a trim, and then I'm going to be adding some feathers, and the feathers that I use are ethically sourced feathers. Well, so they tell me, I have to believe what they say. They're ethically sourced. But I haven't included it in the video just because I'm still trying to work out what best works for me, and I don't want to sort of show people something that might not work in the future or give them the wrong sort of impression or ideas. I guess I should kind of include it with the growth of the way I make things, but maybe the next doll that I do, I want to do an owl. I will show that process maybe on my Patreon. But if you want to see that process, leave it in the comments down below and like what you actually want to see and want to know, and I'll try and include that in the next bird video. So in the meantime, I'm going to paint the rest of the head in black, just so, like I said before, it covers, if there's any see-through of the fur, you'll see black instead of white. White's obvious, makes it really, really obvious. So I'm just going to paint it, just a rough coat of paint, and then I can start adding the fur. So this is what we have so far. I'm going to give it a bit of a trim because it's a bit too long. Raven heads aren't really like that, so I've given it a bit of a trim, and then I'm just going to go ahead and clean up all of the areas around the eyes and anything else that needs to be cleaned up, and if anything needs to be painted or any details need to be sculpted out again, I'll do that now. So I'm just picking off all of the loose ends that have gone into the eye area and then painting in any bits that I've missed in the first painting process. I like to paint at the end of the process as well, just to make sure everything's looking good and to see if I've missed anything. I can pick it up and make it look good. And I considered putting some grey on the beak, but I then decided against it just because I didn't think it would look right. I think it would look a bit weird, like out of place or something, so I just ended up going with the black anyway. And the same deal with the feet, because I've been sort of rough handling it a little bit, some of the paint can come off, so just filling up all of the little bits that need to be done, and then I might give it a little bit of a trim and play with the wings just a bit to make sure they're working properly. But yeah, so that is it for making this little doll. He is available in my shop if he already hasn't been adopted. My shop's at creaturesofnat.com, so head over there. As usual, I want to thank my Patreons for supporting me for another month. Very, very grateful for your support. And if you want to join, head over to Patreon, Creatures of Nat, and support me if you would like to. But in the meantime, you can check me out on Instagram and Facebook at Creatures of Nat, and also my shop at creaturesofnat.com. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.